I'm waiting for everyone to get back on. Olivia, come show them your hair. They want to see your first haircut. Well, it's your first short haircut. The first time you ever got your haircut short. Come around and say hey. No one's there right now. Right now, you're just doing it for the camera.
Hello.
Hello. Look at all this. Yay! She ready. This is the only thing she asked for Christmas was to get her hair cut. So we got that done today. So I had to stop the last live to go pick her up. So give them one of these. Woo! Show them the back. Woo! Miss Judith said looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, she's trying to run away. Okay, so we're doing this off the cuff, off the fly. I have my books here. Miss Rose said, "You look beautiful, baby." She said, "Thank you." It's her first time getting her hair because she's always had long hair, or she'll get the ends trimmed. So the only thing she asked for Christmas was to get her hair cut. So now she has a haircut. Yay! All right. So what I have here. Hello, beautiful. We're about to define God. Okay. So who is God? All right. Hey, what was your name? McConnell Phil, you told me your name before. So tell it to me again so that way I can say, hey. So I'm about to show you guys how I study the Bible and what do I use when I study. Mike, hey, Mike. So I'm going to show you what I use when I study. Of course, I have a Bible, right? This one right here is the New King James Version of the Bible. I have... Hold on, it's over here. My grandmother's Bible, which is a King James version of the Bible. I also have an NIV version of the Bible when I study. I have the Strongest Concordance. As you can see, I use it a lot. What is the purpose of a concordance? A concordance is used because things get lost in translation, right? So it defines what was meant when they said the word of God or any word, right? It defines what they meant by that word. Then I also have not a little dictionary, get a big dictionary, okay? So this is the Webster's New World Dictionary Student Handbook. I've had it forever, and I just love this dictionary. So to give you guys a little, for the people that weren't on the last chat, there's a lot of information coming out. And the truth is this: what if everything you learned was a lie? Everything, right? What if everything you learned was a lie? The question is what do you do then, right? And that's why it's important to define the list of characteristics that you would serve as God, right? Because then when you read the Bible or anything, you'll be able to decipher the nature of God as you're reading to know, is this God? Is this not God? What am I holding as God, right? Or what am I ascribing to that may not fit into the nature of God, right? So this is... I'm teeter-tottering around my words because I don't want to say anything bad about, a friend. Well, I can't, because that's what I told him. I said, by defining who it is that you serve, it'll let me know, are we adversaries or are we friends? Do we go in these conversations as adversaries or friends? And it didn't come out as friends, right? It came out as something different. So through that, I went down the road of looking at, what was the name of that? There was a video that had came out. I can't think of the name of that video, and it came out quite some time ago. Oh yes, she looks it's so chic. So let me get my words together here. In the past, I had followed these different doctrines, right? To see, because I was driven by doubt instead of being driven by faith, right? So that's, for every action, there's an opposite yet equal reaction. And I'm sorry, my battery's going low. One of you kids, go run and grab my charger so I can plug in so we can get this study done. Uh, so at that point, when I had threw away everything, right? I had literally denounced Jesus because I felt like he was a like probably a part of their plan to get us to dethrone God. And you know, but during the like literally 1 year after I had denounced him, he reached out of, he reached out and grabbed me, you know, and said, "Wait a minute, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? It is I, Jesus, whom you persecute." And God literally said to me, "How can you persecute someone that you don't know?" Right? And that's when he led me to read all of the red words. I was not allowed to read any black words of the Bible. I only was allowed to read the red words. And when I read those red words, I was able to see the nature of God. Then he took me down a study of studying who he was, right? To where I had to sit down and define the word of God, like the word God. And then I had to define every word that was in the definition. And when I did that, I'm telling you right now, his majesty revealed himself, meaning just the sheer, like if there's a word for big, ginormous, like just the massiveness of what and who he is revealed itself. So I want to take you guys down that road so that you could do that for yourself. And I'm saying this because we all have doubts, right? Actually, it's healthy to question things. And plug that up behind me, baby. Wait. Uh, uh, I got one of them really long cords. So it's actually healthy to question things, but if you're going to question them, you have to stand on what it is that you perceive to be true. Then that's why the full armor of God has the I believe it's the breastplate of truth or the buckle of truth. Because once you really define who he is for yourself, then no one can lie to you about who he was. Even if they turned around and told you this was a lie, the words aren't a lie. You get what I'm saying? Remember when I said I went down this rabbit hole some time ago, and I thought I was going to, at the end of the rabbit hole, I thought I was going to find, the Rothschilds as the ones who deceived us. Or I thought I was going to find, Rockefellers. But no, I didn't. I literally found Derek himself, right? Because God is not a man that he should lie. You get what I'm saying? He's a spirit. He's an energy. He's something that moves without and moves within. To where we can't hold him to the ideology of man. All right. So there's some words that I want you to get rid of in your language if you can, because those are words that bind you to negative things or to other negative words, such as want. Right. So instead of saying want, I try to say I'd be blessed by, because then I could decipher, is it true nature of God stuff that I want? Let me give you an example. I've been fighting being a smoker, right? I smoke cigarettes and I'm fighting. I'm always quitting. I'm always trying to quit. I go as long as I could go in a day before I have a cigarette. But let's say I said, I want a cigarette. No, that's a lie, right? I mean, I want a cigarette, but that's not of God, right? So then if I said I'd be blessed by then now the truth is revealed. No, I would not be blessed by a cigarette. You get what I'm saying? Same thing with the word should, right? Should is a very dogmatic word. It takes you from being obeying God to obeying the ideals of man. And that's what we're literally up against right now. What we see in north, south, east, and west, or in the news, north, east, west, and south. What we see in the news is the ideals of man. And Jesus said, your doctrine is nothing but a whole bunch of commands from man made to look like they're commands of God. But the truth is your heart is far from me. So that's what we're about to go through, is to get down to the heart of God. Okay. So in my concordance, the word God is right here. Okay. I'm going to just pause so that it'll zoom in. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says that the word that they used in the beginning when they said God is Elohim. Now, there's videos out there that say Elohim was a group of devils and all this other stuff. Well, let's define it and then we'll see who was there. Okay. So it says God, plural of majesty. Okay. Plural in form, but singular in meaning, with a focus on great power. Now, what we're going to do is go to the word great, okay? We could even go to the word focus. Let's go focus, okay? We'll start with focus so that you can see how it all comes back to the truth. F-O-C. Y'all with me? I am reading the definition of the word focus. The word focus is in the definition of the word God. It says, with focus on great power. So we're going to start off with focus. Uh-oh. And my true studiers are here. Make sure you have your pen and paper so that you can do this for yourself and with me. Because that's the thing about it. We're not trying to, I don't care about viewership, likes. And I'm not saying I'm anything bad about those that do. That's their bread and butter. But we're going to take our time and go through this. That's what he told me we're supposed to do, is literally move as responsible leaders, as responsible watchmen, as responsible people that are called to lead his people. Okay. So we got focus, right? So what you would do right now is you would write the definition of focus. Okay. Now, mind you, some of these definitions may talk about math, but you'll be able to see how it still relates back to the premise. Okay. So go with me. Focus. The point where rays of light, heat, or waves of sound come together. All things work together for those who love the Lord and are called by his purpose. Okay, that's focus. Come together, or from which they spread or seem to spread across the world. Okay, the point where rays of light reflect by a mirror, right, within, right, refracted by a lens meet. Same as focal. Adjustment of focal length to make a clear image. That's what we're doing. By focusing, we're adjusting so that we can make a clear image to where no one can lie to us. Okay? Any center of activity or attention. Is God the center of our activity or attention? Or is what they said the center of activity or attention? What's your focal point? Okay. A part of the body where an infection is most active. In math, either of the two fixed points used to determine an ellipse. Any y'all know I could look. Your girl get the words messed up. I can't say this word. Analogous. It's like analog with OUS on the end. Okay, I just can't pronounce it. Analogous point for a parabola, right? Now, focus, to bring into focus, to adjust the focal length of, so as to make a clear image. That's the goal, right? Now it says with focus. Thank you. Yes, that word. That word. That's the word that was in there. So with great power, with focus on great power. So let's go to great. Right? And this is the reason why Faithful will say, ain't nobody studying with you. Ain't nobody about to do all that. But this is how we get the clear image. This is how people can't lie to us, because when you know your God for who he is, it don't matter what you call him. You can. One of our subscribers, Kamala, taught me that, because back in the day when I was struggling, I said to her, how do I rectify the fact that they lied on him, changed his name? The first time his name was mentioned was in the Wicked Bible in Amsterdam back in 1632. And then she said, your name is Naomi, but I know you as Wisdom. So, with that being said, it doesn't change how I feel about you. I could call you Pookie or Nene. The name doesn't change how I feel about you, right? So the question is will you allow the name to change how you feel about God? God told me he came to the party dressed as Jesus. The opposite may not be true. You get what I'm saying? So he came as Jesus. Did Jesus become God? No. God came as Jesus. You get what I'm saying? So if there was a costume party, he came to the party as Jesus. You get what I'm saying? So let's go to great. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I can ramble. Gregra. Stay with me. Those big studiers will stay with me. Stay with me. All right, so this is great. So who is God? Often spoke of, it says plural in majesty, but singular in meaning, with focus on great power. What is great? Of much more than ordinary size, extent, or number. Much above the ordinary or average in some quality, existing in high degree, intense, very much of, eminent, distinguished, superior, very impressive or imposing, having or showing nobility of mind, purpose, of most importance, main purpose, designating designating a relationship one generation removed. Y'all saw that? Designating, hold on, let me say that again. Y'all got to see it. I'm going to break it down for you so that way. Designating a relationship one generation removed. Meaning, he came to the party, right? He came to the party as Jesus. That's the first generation. We are the next generation. That's the point of the New Testament. You get what I'm saying? So literally designating a relationship one generation removed. Before then, there was you can't get to the Father. If God is love and Jesus is forgiveness, no man can stay in love without the ability to forgive. It makes sense, right? It becomes total then. Okay? Hey, Daddy. Hey. Everybody told me to tell you hey earlier. I was telling them about your and they said thank you for your service.
Well, I'm a lucky man to be here.
He said he's a lucky man to be here. Praise God. Okay. The next one is clever, skillful, excellent, splendid, and fine, very well. A great or distinguished person, usually used in the plural. Okay? Enthusiastic about. Okay? Right, that's what I'm doing. Thank you for letting them know what I'm doing, Mike. Okay, so this is part of who God is. He is great. He is extraordinary, way above the ordinary, right? He exists in high degree, right? Very much of, eminent, distinguished, and superior. Let's go on to power, okay? Now we're going to power. And what I'm giving you is the skills so that when someone brings you historical doctrine or historical facts, right? Because these are facts, but at the same point doesn't mean that facts represent truth. Okay? So let's go on to power so that when you Someone brings you something, you can then say, does this match what I know about God? Okay? POW. All right, power. All right, with focus on great power. Let's go to what power means. Ability to do, act, or produce. Creator. Okay? A specific ability or faculty. Great ability to do, act, or affect, vigor, or force. The ability to control others and influence. Okay? Special authority of a person or group in office. Legal authority. Legal authority. This is all his. You're his. I'm his. Everything is all his. Legal authority. That's the reason why the demons were like, are you here to torture us before the appointed time? Well, how are you in that realm? He said, I came here legally, meaning the legal way to enter this realm is through birth. And that's what he told him. No, I came legally. Okay. So, legal authority, physical force or energy, the capacity to exert such force, a person or thing of great influence, force, or authority, a nation, especially one dominating others. Remember, he said, focus on tenets, not dogma. Tenets allows you to break away from a faulty plan. Dogma doesn't. Dogma is wrapped up in 1,000 different shoulds or commands that are set up by man, making it look as if they are commands by God, but the truth is their heart was far from them, okay? So if you are a part of the tenets, this is tenets. Tenets is a doctrine to be held true by a group of people, right? So if you focus on the tenets, then this doctrine does dominate us. We're not a part of this world. You get what I'm saying? We are held to a different standard because of great power. You get what I'm saying? Who he is, right? So it says a nation, that's us, especially one dominated by others. That's him. A spirit of divinity, military strength. He said when he's coming with a legion of angels, like thousands and thousands and thousands no, I think it's millions actually, because Faithful showed me that it literally says he's gonna come with millions of angels. Okay. The result, listen to this. This is the one I was trying to tell y'all about. So it's about math, but listen to this. It still matches God. Watch this. The result of multiplying a quantity by itself. That's power. The result of multiplying a quantity by itself. Amazing, right? So he's the creator. The result, I already read that one. Is the second power of two, right? No, that's another thing he showed me. That like that whole sacred geometry stuff. You have a man, a woman, and a child. Me, myself, and I, right? All things have an identity of three. That's something to look into. Think about that. Me, myself, and I. I can't think of another one right now, but me and Faithful one day went through all of them, and it was a lot of them where we were like, whoa, everything has like an identity of three. You get what I'm saying? So first you got to have God, then have the person, and then the person can create multiplied by itself. You get what I'm saying? Which still equals that next one. Okay? All right, hold on. Okay, so this is in optics. The degree of magnification of a lens or telescope to supply with power operated by electricity, energy, right? Using an auxiliary cord, using an auxiliary engine powered system, carrying electricity, the authority, right? The person or in this case, we're talking about characterized by great power or the one in control. Okay. So let me go on to the next one and let me see what you guys are saying, because you got to be able to define them for yourself or someone will take them from you as they took them from me before. You get what I'm saying? And I'll tell you this. I don't care what his name is because I have him in my heart. I literally put these words over myself to where now no one can lie to me. Because truthfully, I get our fight is not against flesh and blood, it's against principles, right? Or principalities in high places, right? So, what principles do you hold dear? Right? What principles do you let on GP nudge you in a different or in a particular direction? You get what I'm saying? So, all right. So we're going back to the definition of God, right? And this is in the Strongest Concordance and what they said about God. All right. Or what they meant when they translated this word. Okay. Mighty. The next one in here is mighty. Well, let's look to see what mighty means. Okay? What is mighty? So, and I already got an inkling of what mighty means because like a lot of us are kind of looking to see what's coming, but my God is mighty. My God is awesome. Now we can find our faith in knowing who he is. If we know who he is more than we know who we are, then we can start having trust. You get what I'm saying? To call someone mighty, M-I-G, 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 mighty. Having might. Powerful, strong, remarkable, large, extensive, great, extremely, very, right? Now, I like how they just had very sitting off by itself, okay? That's interesting. What's very? Let's look at that. Because they just had it sitting off by itself. Like, it didn't say very strong. It just said very. I'd like to know what very means to why it was sitting by itself. And God showed me every single word in the definition of him goes back to him. Here we go. Here we go. Very. So let's see what very is, because it sat by itself in the definition, right? It didn't say like very smart or very strong. No, it just said very. Okay. So what is very? In the fullest sense, he is God and God alone. That's what it means. In the fullest sense, complete, utterly, identical in his image, exactly, right, suitable. This is the definition of very, which is a part of the definition of God. He said he would not be mocked. You get what I'm saying? All of these words go back to him when it's in his definition. Precise. Ooh, verily I say unto you. I never thought of that. That's a good one, right? So he said, even used as an intensive, actual, truly, exceedingly, high degree, really, used as an intensive. Okay, so I'm hoping I'm empowering you to study these words. Study, like there's so many days where I will go look, like this when it first started, this is the verse that I was studying. And I promise you, even the word set, S-E-T, will blow your mind on how much it takes you back to God. But when I first studied the who God was, he had me study Genesis 1. Hold on, let me go to it. It's the one where it says, God made man in his image, in the image of God. He made him, male and female. He made them. There we go. Wait, no, that was, there it goes. 27. Genesis 1:27 was the verse that I was studying when I began to actually get an opportunity to see God for who he really is. So it says, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. So, first things first, define God, right? So, let's go on to the next one. I'll give you another one. Hold on. I want to get high. Let's go with high because high is sitting by itself there as well. HIGH. High. Okay. So let's go to high and once again, you will see it goes back to the nature of God. HI. Real studiers, stay with me. My real studiers, stay with me because we are finding God for ourselves. We're not letting nobody tell us who he is, right? We're defining him, right? So that when they come with their doctrines of devils, or when they come with what someone else told them, or they got something off the internet, first off, don't trust the internet because I watch them change what the books say using the internet. You get what I'm saying? So let's go with high. Here we go. Of more than normal height, tall, not, look, it literally says not used of persons. Right? Extending upward or distinct, situated far above the ground or other levels. Or other levels. Your second heaven? Nah, he in the third heaven, right? Reaching to or done from a height above all others in rank. Above all others in rank. That is our God. Our God is awesome. Okay? Above all others in rank, position, quality, or even character. There's nothing someone can tell you about your God if it's not at the highest level of love, highest level of authority, highest level. You get what I'm saying? That no devil can outdo God. So if someone tells you that the devil did something, because it says here, my God is superior. That's high, right? Very serious. Who knew that the definition of high had very serious in it? Wait, let me put my finger on it. It literally says very serious. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on. Oh, wait. I'm pointing to the wrong one. That's why I couldn't find it. When I turned it over, I got mixed up. Very serious. I don't know if you guys can see that, but hopefully you got a big dictionary too, or it won't give you these in-depth definitions. Okay, very serious. And I love you. I understand. Come watch it again. And the better thing would be if you would sit down and define God for yourself. Like go into the dictionary and just define every single word that this world says represents God. See if you agree, right? See if you agree. So I love you. Be safe. Deliberately safe. Okay. So it also says greatly developed, complex, more than your human mind can understand. Do you know so many times I realize that's why he's saying don't be dogmatic, because the things that's going on is way too deep than your mere human mind can understand. Okay. Usually in comparative. Right? Usually in comparative, the main one, the principal, right? The chief, greater in size and amount and degree and power, advanced to its acme or fullness, luxurious, expensive, costly, luxurious, and extravagant. My God has a house on, my Father has a house on 1,000 hills. You get what I'm saying? Overbearing. He will not be he's a jealous God. He don't play those type of games with him. Either you his or you not. You get what I'm saying? Raised or acute in pitch, sharp. extremely formal in manners of ceremony. High goes on forever. Like it's almost had like a big part of the page represents high. But you see how when you take the time out to define him for yourself, no one can lie to you. No one. You'll know his nature in the midst of what the serpent will try to put you in an entanglement, right? With the adversary, right? He'll put you in an entanglement with the adversary. But if you know the nature of God, people can't lie to you. If you've put him and cloaked him within your heart, people can't lie to you anymore, right? That's what this thing talks about when they talk about a great falling away and a great awakening. They're happening at the same time, right? So if you title, like, someone brings you a lot of historical evidence that they got off YouTube, they didn't go downtown to the Library of Congress or to the Natural Arts Museum and open the book for themselves, because I watched them change history. Faithful will tell you, we watched them change history. 1 minute it was one thing, but years later we look on the internet and that whole definition of what they were showing changed. But these books, they don't change. That's why I tell people, hold on to your books. Hold on to your books. Because they're changing history right before your eyes on that internet, okay? So let's go on to another one. Majesty. I skipped over it because it said plural of majesty, okay? So let's go to majesty. What's majesty? And what we're building is our most holy faith. Do you got faith in God, or do you have faith in what they told you about God? You get what I'm saying? Majesty. We're studying the Bible, y'all. I know it looks like I'm studying a dictionary, but this is the word. This is from the Bible. Then we define it, okay? So that way we can't be fooled. So we can, it's kind of like when somebody say, what you mean by that? This is how we figure out what they mean by that. You get what I'm saying? Instead of assuming. And we know what assume does, right? Makes the ass out of you and me. Right. We don't want nobody to make an ass out of you and me. Right? Majesty. It should be right here. Majesty. What's majesty? Y'all ready? All right. Majesty is sovereign. Sovereign, based of major, compare of magnus. That's something in Greek. Great. Sovereign. A title used in speaking to or of sovereign, preceded by his, her, or your grandeur or stateliness. So when someone starts coming to tell you that, that this was all a plan of the devil and all that other stuff, you will know then that they're insulting your God. Because it said great power, authority, the creator, the, sovereign, stateliness, right? We know that let's look at what sovereign means. We know that sovereign means stands on his own, of our own authority. Because so many people are trying to say that they're sovereign right now, right? And let's look up what the word sovereign means. S-O-V, S-O-V. I know now y'all see why Faithful be like, ain't nobody studying with you, ain't nobody going. But now Faithful does study like this with me. She's like, oh my goodness, I can see him. And when you study like this, you start hearing them better too, because then you know the words that make up him, right? You have more in your toolbox versus like, it's almost like you step it up to junior high level instead of elementary level. Sovereign, found it. Okay, here we go. Above or superior to all others. Above or superior to all others. Who's sovereign? Are you sovereign? No, God is sovereign. Right? We on the same playing field as all others. He flat out said he's sovereign. Okay? Supreme in power, not superior, but supreme in power, right? In rank. Of or being a ruler, reigning. Who's the president? Truthfully, as I don't care, right? Because who's reigning? God is reigning, right? That's when you put that in your heart and make it deep enough to understand what it means for someone to have that type of rank in your heart. Independent of all others, excellent, very effectual. As a remedy, he the remedy. I got the remedy. He's the remedy, right? A person having sovereign authority, a monarch or a ruler. Do we want man to be a monarch or a ruler? God already said he ain't want no monarch, so he was the only one, right? He's the monarch. He's the ruler, okay? So sovereignty, the status of rule. The status of rule, okay? And power. Supreme and independent political authority. Sovereign state, okay? So once you sit down, take the time to define God for yourself, when they bring you, evidence that aliens created us, when you sit down and define God for yourself, right, then you'll get the understanding that we won't worship the created. He was absolute in his creation. You get what I'm saying? He was absolute, and you'll know that when you do these types of things. You get what I'm saying? So, let me go to the, because I could go on for days. Okay. Mike said, read the red words when I started studying 30 years ago. Love you and peace. Praise God, Mike. I know you said you had to run earlier, but this is a little message for you to say that's what's going on. They're trying to get us to abandon the thought process. This is literally the time of when they're trying to get us to blaspheme God. Right? And what does that mean? What's blaspheming the Holy Spirit means is when you say good is bad and bad is good. Well, these videos circulating is doing that very thing. It's saying that the good was created by the bad. What? That's why this is an adult. That's why God calls this an adulterous generation, because it's all, I didn't grow up in the church. This is how I found God, right here, right? Can't no pastor study better than me, because this is within me. You get what I'm saying? But I remember thinking, the reason why I say that, because I'm about to say something controversial. But I remember when I understood what it meant to be adulterous. That's when, something wags its tail and walk past you. You like, instead of staying focused on your 1967 Thunderbird or whatever the case may be, you now like, ooh, what's that? And you just toddle away and forsake your God again over what somebody told you. Don't do that. This is time to stand firm. But if you don't know what you're standing firm in, then you're standing firm in someone else's ideology and nothing that you ever defined for yourself. I thank God for Jesus. Like, I'm glad that he came here clothed in Jesus. Reason being, he put an end to the daily sacrifice, right? He said we could be living sacrifices instead of dead ones, right? He also said that he prefers obedience over sacrifice any day, right? He literally stopped us from, taking our children downtown. Okay, picture right now if he didn't do what he did. We would be looking for offerings to kill and then let the blood drain on an altar that was seasoned and smelling good unto. But he literally said, the way you treat the next person is the way you treat me. Like, he freed us from the doctrines of devils. That's worth it. That's worth worship. You get what I'm saying? So be careful for when you, and that's what I was doing with our friend. He doesn't realize this, but I'm blocking him from doing something he'll regret. Because truthfully, as if I would have let him come on here with all that whoa, y'all would have jumped on him. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep him off over here, and I'm a minister if he'll let me. But if I let him get on there with all this about, that is confusion. And we know who the author of confusion is. And also, when you accuse, we know who the great accuser is, right? It's kind of like you don't have to tell anybody you the boss, just be the boss. That's how God moves. You get what I'm saying? To where you either with him or you're not with him. And it's just that simple, you know? He won't let your heart lie on you. You know, I remember, actually, I declared live on camera. Y'all saw it. I think it was like probably the first one right after the Marfugo family came over, where I finally declared and called myself a Christian. I hadn't done that in about 12 years. But I'm never letting anyone take that away from me again, because I get what Christianity is doing for the world. Now, mind you, there's entanglements, doctrines of devils, that's all entangled up. But when you when you really know the nature of God, nobody can entangle him, because you will take what you know and throw away the malarkey, the BS. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that this is helping you to stand firm. Oh, that's another thing. One late night, I'm telling you, I was on the phone with Faithful crying, trying to make peace with what I thought I knew. And God said, clear as day, don't worry, baby. Love in one is love in all. He said, exact words, I don't play those types of games. He's reading your heart. So he don't play those types of games. If you find yourself having to check boxes that don't match love, forgiveness, sacrificing your will for the will of God, hold on one second. I'm sorry. I have my son. Where is this? He wants to go somewhere, y'all. Y'all give me a second. I got to teach him how to check in, because he didn't do that yesterday. I should say no. We'll see. It's on Lee Road. And who are you going with? And that's the thing. I don't want you to have a whole bunch of people in your car. Okay. Well, I'm not moving the other car right now. So right now I'm in the middle of something. You're going to have to wait. Lois sleeping. You're going to have to wait. Don't start with me, boy. They'll be coming after you. Okay? Shut that down. So with that being said, and I'm not going to stop this again to go do something else. Right now, this is where I'm at. I don't know. So, hey guys, sorry about that. This is the life of a mother. All right. So, Annie made me lose my train of thought. What was I saying? Could you at least tell me what I was saying, since you made me lose my train of thought? Oh, no, you can't. You wasn't paying me no attention, huh? So, forgive me, guys. Or I'll go to what my friends are saying. Charity said, hey, love, I really have to talk to you. Remember what I said about Jupiter? I saw some things last night, and my daughter is a witness. Girl, I trust you. Call me. You got my phone number. As soon as I'm done here, feel free to give me a call, okay? Susan said, have a great time. She was telling you, have a great time. He's trying to become a boxer. So they're going to work out. Like there's a boxing coach that said he was really good. And so now he's all about boxing right now. Okay. So are you guys with me though? Okay, here we go. So Jamila said, I did that thanks to you helping me understand and say to anyone now that, yes, I am a Christian and I know God is and Jesus died on the cross. I feel God's warmth in my heart every time. Now think about that. That's the thing about it. That's what I meant about the fruit thereof, right? The fruit thereof. We can't, that's what, now I know what I was talking about. we can't let them blaspheme God in our hearts. You get what I'm saying? He's not, God isn't dumb. You know what I mean? He know who you worship. He know who you love. Let's get real for once, right? So he knows your heart. And that was the point until we get to the point of Christianity, right? The point of Christianity was to free the people from Baal. Baal had entangled himself. You get what I'm saying? But in that moment of getting to of Jesus coming and giving us that blueprint on how to stand, right? Or on how to stand firm. I'll tell you this. I'm gonna keep it real with you. And this is what I told my friend, what I told this person, um, is that I love God so much that even if he didn't like me, I'd stalk him. You get what I'm saying? Like, even if everything I ever learned was wrong, my principle of love and forgiveness is truth. You get what I'm saying? To the point where God couldn't shake me if he wanted to. You know what I mean? Would I live for him? Yes. Would I die for him? Heck yes. You get what I'm saying? That I can't be shaked. I can't be moved. And we all got to get to that place because people are going to come to you with some real convincing. It's just like I saw a video where it was saying that aliens were coming back. Listen to this. Aliens were coming back for the black people, and the song Swing Low, Swing Chariot was code word for the chariot coming forth to carry me home. How? Like, and they were literally like, yes, see, they lied to us. The white man lied. You just forsaked your God off of the words of someone else when aliens don't even come visit black people. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, I was literally sitting there like, you ain't never heard no black people being abducted. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean they coming back for us and us alone? Like, that's the thing about it, is that easily adulterated, like, but if we just stand firm in the principles of God, because our fight is not against flesh and blood. And love of one is love of all. Right? Remember that. Love of one, only God. Well, love of one is love of all. Loving him is loving all. Right? And those types of things, whatever, so within, so without. Right? So whatever's inside of you will come out of you. So if you listen to someone long enough, you will see what they're made of. And a lot of times, though we want to believe everybody is for God, that's what, speaking of, God also told me to tell people to have other people, when a person tells you something about God, have them define to you who their God is. That's going to be important during this time. You know, like literally, so who do you say God is? Did you notice that when Jesus said, who do you say I am? Right? A lot of people thought it was the word I and am. But who do you say God is? Because he's the great I am. So who is he? Right? Because some people going to come to you talking about God, but it ain't your God. It ain't the God that you serve. Because remember, for every action is the opposite yet equal. So if you believe the adversary is God, you would think he was equal to mine or more superior. You get what I'm saying? So you don't want anyone to so just be careful when people come to you telling you who God is, then say, who do you say God is? Be ready to ask them some questions like, does your God believe in sacrifice? Let me know. Does your God believe in does your God allow you to do magic? Like, and by magic, what do I mean by magic? Does he allow you to manipulate the elements of the universe? Right? Because that's important to know, because then now I'll know that that's a doctrine of a devil, because my God don't allow me to do that. He told me to stay away from magic. You get what I'm saying? Or does your God have children? Does your God, be ready to ask these questions, because this is part of persecution. You get what I'm saying? So many people gonna tell you what you should or should not be doing for God. But that's a part of persecution, right? Matter of fact, let's look up the word persecution, right? So that way we'll know what it means to be persecuted. Because so many of us are waiting for the guillotine type of persecution, but sometimes it's that spirit of confusion rolling you into a washing machine, the washing machine, right? Just rolling you around, taking you in circles and never getting down to what they really mean, okay? So here we go. Persecution. We need to know, right? We're getting ready for it. It's what is scaring all of us. So let's find out what persecution is. P-E-R, right? Persecution. P-E-R-S-E. P-E-R-S-E. There we go. Perse. There we go. Persecution. Let's find out what persecution is, guys. Right? So there's an old proverb that says, age old, like I guess proverb, because it's not proverb, the proverbs, but age old saying that says, tell the truth and shame the devil. Once you tell and now oh wow, guys, right in this moment, I see why I was tussling with the devil in that dream, and I threw him in the washing machine, and he came out smaller as like this spider, because that's what, like, that ain't nothing. You know what I mean? But before it was like, oh, I'm fighting. But once you tell the truth, you shame the devil. So let's tell the truth and shame the devil. All right. So what is persecution? Persecute. To afflict constantly. So what you say about this? Why can't we do this? Why we do this? Why we do that? What about this? You gonna move the car? When you gonna be done? That's persecution. To afflict constantly so as to injure or distress for reasons of religion, politics, or race. To annoy constantly. That's it. They don't say nothing about killing you. It literally says to annoy constantly. That's what persecute means, to annoy constantly. That's why God told me the ones that's going to persecute the saints are other saints, other people. He said, I didn't come. He was going to put mother against father. Mother against daughter, father against son. The people that you're going to have to stay in persecution against are the people sitting right next to you. Right? So that's what it's the constant, like, what about this? You get what I'm saying? So no, we got to be ready to stand that by being firm in our beliefs as it relates to God. Here's something else I want you, praise God. Hello. Rose said, wow, never thought that was the definition. Right. That's the definition of persecution. Yep. Right. To constantly annoy. That's what it is. Saul, why do you persecute me? It is Jesus. It is I whom you persecute. You get what I'm saying? So we got to be ready to stand firm. But you can't stand firm if you're not reading your Bible yourself. You can't stand firm if you're not defining these things. Because a lot of things get lost in translation. You got to actually define them for yourself. What characteristics are worth worshiping? We're talking about worship. You know what worship? Worship is like bow down before. Worship is standing in awe. Are we really going to let someone else tell us that we're worship, like that, be from a video or something like that we're worshiping the devil? No. That's what they may be worshiping, but I done defined them. I know defined it them. That's a word, y'all. I just made it up. Okay. I done defined it them. So I know who I'm talking about. You could tell me who they talking about, but that ain't got nothing to do with who I'm talking about. I know who I'm talking about because God is constantly reading your heart. You get what I'm saying? He's constantly reading your heart. Right. And that's a so is prayer. I was telling Faithful, You know how people do faithful and Rose, they are intercessory prayers. You know, that's what they do. They pray. But me, I talk to God all day long. So I don't know how to do the organized type of prayer. Does that make me any less? No, it just makes me different because I'm literally like, what should I eat today, Lord? You know, what should I do? Should I hurry up for this boy who's sitting over here just staring at me? Should I hurry up for him? You know, I'm in communion with God all day long. Not saying that's even any better or different. I mean, I could say that's maybe different, but I can't say that it's any better because when it's time to pray, I go running to them so they can help me do spiritual warfare type prayers. But I've been walking in forgiveness for so long that once you walk in forgiveness, it's literally like the devil's vanquished. I don't even see him anymore. Like I just close the thing and when I do see him, I go, oh yeah, let me forget this. Okay, let me forget this. Like you human, I'm human. We messing up. It's a trip. I ain't about to be used by neither one of y'all. I'm good. I'm backing out. You get what I'm saying? So I hope that this helps to give you a starting point for how to get to know your God. Because when someone comes to you telling you about God, they're telling you about their God, and it might not be the same as yours. So you got to do what it takes to get to know yours so nobody can lie on yours by giving him a synonymous name or a general name. You get what I'm saying? People do that all the time. You know, people, and I remember one time I had a hard time calling on the name of Jesus. I'll tell y'all this. This really did happen. I had a hard time. Like, you know, I had one of those dreams, right? Where I was in my room and I was watching the book of Mark. This was real. I was watching the Gospel of Mark, like it was on Netflix, right? And the lights were on. You know, I was sitting in my bed watching the show. I'll never forget this. And this is what happened in real life. But I guess at some point I fell asleep or I didn't. And it probably really did happen as a vision. I don't know. But at some point I fell asleep, is what I think happened. And don't know I fell asleep. And at that point, a man walked into my bedroom and I went, and then, you know, he looked at me. This is exactly what he did. And came over to me and he was holding me down. And I started screaming, Jesus, 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 like they tell you, but I was checking a box because I didn't really believe in Jesus all like that, right? So I kept saying, Jesus, 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 and he was like in my face like this, like almost like he was about to kiss me. He was in my face, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, 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 it's not working. I'm pressing the button, it ain't working. Jesus, Jesus. And then at that point, I literally felt God say, you have authority here. He said, I had authority here. And he said, calm down, now leave. That's exactly what I heard God say in my head. So it was literally like I was, and then he went, you got authority here. Calm down and leave. And I went, oh, I'm not staying here. And next thing you know, I woke up. You get what I'm saying? So, and that's about the same time that God told me that that love in one is love in all. It's about what's in your heart. Here's the things you can't allow your heart to get set up in. Fear. Fear will have you, why ain't it working? I'm trying to press the Jesus button. It ain't working. You get what I'm saying? But when you know your Father is great, sovereign authority, that he created you in his image and clear focus, like when you know all that, then you can go, oh, I ain't even on that. Psh, and leave. You get what I'm saying? So I hope, if anything, I empower you to a deeper relationship with your God so that you could define him for yourself. And then take a real look at not what Christianity did for the principalities and high places. No. What he did for God. What did he free people from? Why was the point of it all? Why did it happen? What would we be doing if it didn't happen? That's an even better question. What would we be doing right now if Jesus never came? That's a scary thought, ain't it? We be literally looking for an offering to appease the sun gods. Or we literally be looking, telling my son right now, yeah, son, I'm going to go with you. Knowing I'm taking him downtown to appease the God downtown to see if they gonna spare his life or are they gonna make me kill him as a sacrifice. That's what would happen if Jesus didn't come. Look, my son is over there. He just became a Christian, y'all. Like, he is over there like, what? Whoa, whoa. But that's what happened in the Bible before Jesus came. People did that kind of stuff. Right? Remember in Jeremiah where God said, you're literally offering your children to bow, something I never commanded you to do, nor did it ever cross my mind. That's what God himself said. Okay? So I hope this empowers you. Anybody got any questions before I go? Because this boy is like, he's persecuting me right now. He's sitting there just like, but hopefully he learning something. Anybody got any questions? Anything that you want to say to me? And no, I pray for me, because I pray that the young man whom I had to block from this family understands that I blocked him so that y'all didn't eat him up and spit him out. I blocked him so that he didn't do anything that he regretted, later on when he finally comes to his senses about who God truly is. And once you know God's truth, every other man is a lie. Like, you don't have to find their lies. Like, right now, I'm okay. If I find out that everything was a lie, I know my God. Because at the end of that rabbit hole was just two there. God and the devil. It wasn't the Rothschilds. You get what I'm saying? Now we know, when you know who your adversary is, then you'll know how to stand with authority. You get what I'm saying? How to stand. And on top of that, when you know, this is important, guys, because God showed us what blaspheming the Holy Spirit means. That is when you say good is bad and bad is good. That is when you use like devilish things to fake as if you're talking about God. You get what I'm saying? Or that's what this world, like, look at the TV show Lucifer. Look at Negan, right? Everybody loves Negan, even though he was horrible. Okay. I gotta admit, I love Negan. Like, oh, look at Negan. That's off of Walking Dead. But that's what's happening in the world. They're blaspheming God on a daily basis. That's what's on the Abraham Accord coin. That's what brought a lot of you here, because I was like mad about that coin. Y'all watched that video like, who they lying to? That kind of stuff. That's when you can stand firm and say, stop lying. That's that kind of stuff, So don't let people blaspheme God. Don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. Right? You know the nature of your God for yourself, so nobody can lie to you. Don't let nobody lie to you about who God is. When they tell you that it was made by the evil one or whatever, you turn around and look at your baby in her eyes and say, nah, this baby was built with love. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so I see my girl Suzanne said, this is a good lesson. Still want to visit with you when you have time. Absolutely. Love you so much, my dear Miss Faithful. My dear, you and Faithful. I got it. I read it right this time. Me and Faithful. Praise God. Donna said, when I wake up, the first thing to pop into my head is worship music. Love, love, love. Yes, he's been doing that to me a lot too. Like, he's been playing songs in my head. And that's the thing about it. He's literally songs like for real. We trying to say that the devil created man, but now he putting songs in people's heads in the middle of the night that's saying stuff like, set the captives free. They're going to set the captives free. Or he's saying stuff like, if he did it before, he'll do it again. Same God right now. Same God back then. Right? That's what? Now you can laugh at things like that. Like, what? No. Right? And protect yourself. Protect yourself. Because that was his whole goal. He wanted to come live and tell everybody all that he learned about Satan, basically. He wanted to blaspheme God live on air, and I wasn't going to let it happen because he don't know what's in your heart. And I'm not going to let anyone plunge you into a state of confusion. So first things first, you sit down for yourself and define him for yourself and fall in love with him for yourself so that they can't lie to you about who he is. You know who your love is. Oh, that's what I was going to tell y'all. So I was having a hard time saying the word Jesus, right? And when that happened, I heard him literally say, my name is Love, too. You can call me Love. I went, oh. I started crying and everything, y'all. Like, I literally heard, because I was like, Jesus, and it wasn't feeling right in my heart. So do what it takes to get a clear understanding. So back then it wasn't feeling right. And then he said, you can call me Love, too. My name is Love as well. Oh, okay, love. Right? God is love. It was beautiful. I ain't I guess you had to be there, but it was beautiful. I love you too. I love you too. Good stuff. Praise God. I'm glad. I'm glad this touched some place in our hearts. Sit down and define them. I'm empowering you to do that for yourself. Be empowered. Be empowered. Be encouraged. Stand firm. Until you get to know them to yourself, it'll be easy to make them toddle away. All right? So I hope this helped. I love you guys. If you're a serious studier of God, you need this book. You need this book. If you're a serious studier of God, you can go with this. You can go with this. But we in college. Are we in college or elementary school? Right? We're in college for God. So you need this. You need this. And you need this. That's how we get to the meat. Okay? That's how we get to the meat. All right? I love you guys. Look, now both of them are surrounding me. She's coming to you see this? She's coming to stand up for her brother, even though he gonna beat her up in a minute anyways. Like, he gonna straight act like he don't know her. In a minute. But she's coming to stand up for him, and he's over there. Now, hold on, wait. Let's get back to that. It says, did you ever get to look at Chuck Mesler? No, I did not. I've been on a YouTube hiatus. Like I said, right now I'm taking everything as entertainment, So I've just been like, this is the rule I put myself under, Lion's Heart. I put myself under, I have to study. So for whatever hours I study the Bible, that's how long I can play around on YouTube. Because the way it works, God showed us last video or 2 videos ago, the way it works is God talks to you during this time, during the silence with him, but he can use anything to confirm what he said. So first you got to talk to him for yourself, and before you go out there looking, so that he can confirm what he said. So that's the rule I'm kind of under right now, is that I have to sit down and study. And then when I study, whatever amount of time I study, then I can go watch YouTube or watch TV or anything else like that. So I put myself under that rule. But you're the second, I'll say a confirmation, because you're the second person that told me to go check them out. Rose told me to go check them out as well. So that's my rule, though. That is my rule, is first I study. And then just like any kid, right? You got to do your homework before you can watch that TV, right? You got to do your homework. I love you guys. I gotta go. I got 2 weirdos that are persecuting me, right? They're annoying constantly. 2 weirdos are persecuting me right now. So, thank you guys. I hope that this was helpful, and I don't want to leave, but I just really hope this was helpful. So I hope I empowered you to sit down and study for yourself. Go deeper. Like, you could sit there and read this all day long. Don't get me wrong. This is beautiful. God will not be mocked. But I also know some things were omitted, and some things, like, because he couldn't add to it, but they could omit stuff. So you got to sit down and define it so that you'll find what they omitted. Right? Right? Miss Suzanne says she loves your hair. Good hair. Hey, good hair. Don't care. That's one of the kid young things that they be saying. Ain't that it? Ain't it good hair? Don't care. Oh, now look, he over there. You better come over here and say hi to the people since you try. Look, it don't matter. Get on my channel since you over here trying to persecute me. Get over here. Come say hi. Oh, I ain't getting off live then. Let me keep on talking then. Oh, now you want to come in. You better say hello to the people and say thank you.
Hello.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. Till next time, I hope this. Yes, they say hello. I hope this helped. They're just jumping around, girl. I'm going to persecute them right back.
That uncle that won't leave
I'm like the I am the uncle that won't leave. Well, this is church. Everybody know everybody stand outside after church and the kids ready to go and we stand there and talk. Okay? Everybody know that. Okay. Love you guys. I'm about to help this boy. All right. Talk to you soon. Be blessed and study. All right. Bye guys. Love you.